Hello, my name is Pablo, and this is gonna be a guide to my Def Aura build that I created. I spent about 100 divines on it, and basically we don't need that ring, but I slap it because I have it. Why not? You know, for flex from my strength stacker. So you don't need it. It's not necessary. I'm gonna use it because it grants me chaos resistance, and I need to swap a lot of things for gaining the despair as an aura in my build. So whatever. We're gonna start with the small gamba of 2 helmets. That's gonna be corrupted, nothing worth. You know, tainted mythic orbs exist, and we're gonna jump to the map. This is my map device. Maybe I'm gonna first show the tree. This is the tree for dropping maps. Nothing especially important beside the map modifier effect. So you know it's a little bit harder. And we're gonna run the 8-modded corrupted map. So in that scenario, we don't have any like super destroying our mods. We don't care about any reflex or something. The 2 mods that gonna make us like impossible to run the map is the reduced aura effect, because Def Aura that I'm playing is considered as an aura. So yeah, that's gonna break the build. And also there is a mod that says you recover less life. With that mod, you have a lot of forms of the recovery, but you also degaining, so probably it's hard as fuck. I yet didn't try it on the tier 16.5 or 17, but yeah. So that maps looks a little bit juicy. More maps, more proficiency, more scarabs, nice, some quantity. So let's go do it. I'm gonna slap the domination, and I am currently testing if I am capable of doing constant those maps with the scarab of risk. I'm not using it right now, so yeah, I don't wanna rip them up. So let's go. Domination, the tree, the scarabs. You saw the map, yeah. Or single target. If there is nothing to explode, is almost not existing.
Abandon
And
all
you know,
pretenses
it's
and save
Autobomber
yourself
playstyle.
while you
So
still can.
you know, as you can see, I have a lot of lags just because my PC is like not upgraded for 8 years. So you know, with my playstyle, I like to clear the map, and after that loot, we're just gonna grab some shrines, and we don't care about the loot on the ground. You know, maybe I'm gonna read some altars. So Eldritch minions, something, yeah, that's that. Let's take it. Better don't stand in the place. So basic currency, I don't care about it. Yeah, when you get the acceleration shrine, I feel like I'm too fast.
When I'm ready and not.
Yeah. So the more density on the map, the better the clear is. The only problem is when you go for the 100% delirium maps, which I don't necessarily think it's a good thing in this league, because the abyssal strat grants you much more currency. So you know, we're gonna grab that shit. I don't know what it is. We have some shrine here. Let's go for it. There are some monsters nearby. Some altar. Rarity for damage. Oh, thanks. What we have here? Some brutal shrine. Yeah. Let's go. Another shrine. So I hope the video gonna be playable. So according to me, we don't have a single target, but let's hope the boss gonna explode from minions. And if that doesn't happen, and I can see him, I don't. So yeah, if we have problem with the bosses on the maps, we can kill those that don't have phases by utilizing the Val Bridge. You can always pop it on. It lasts 2 seconds. You open it, so if something's too new before that animation happens, you are screwed. But as you can see, you can explode another minions nearby the enemy, and we have almost dot cap in some scenarios. So yeah, I'm just gonna quickly run through the map and like pick up maybe something expensive, and like then I'm gonna start working for looting. And 3. Okay, maybe let's fuck the looting. I'm gonna do it later. So as you can see, I didn't die on the map. We have maybe not a lot of life, but we have a lot of layers of the defensive, which before the builds have been lacking the single target damage. Currently, we are choosing it by poisoning enemies via the helmet. Helmet is venomous toxins. It drops from the bestiary boss. You can farm it pretty consistent. I believe you can get it on the easily on the solo cell font. And yeah, so +1 power charge was not on the market. I needed to borrow the guy from TFT and buy his service, so he bring me a lot of caps, and we corrupted all of them. I found 2. So what is important on this helmet is the chance for the poison per power charge. This is global poison chance, and because I have 8 power charges and the Herald of Agony, I got 100% chance, and that means all explosions can poison enemies. And because enemies on the maps often gonna be rare or magic, there is a lot of overlapping like explosions, and we easily hit the dot caps in the mapping scenario. On bosses, I would say you have 0 damage. So even with the Val Breach and like sometimes on the maps you can utilize Plague Bar at the end of the map to finish the boss if he has like half HP and he's deganing. It's gonna be another 1 million damage, so yeah. You don't need to use it on the maps. As you can see, I never press it. I press on the withering step. You can automate both of them. I don't like it because I like to have this Plague Bar. I was doing it before, yeah. So yeah. Another thing is the Batch of Brotherhood. You don't need additional cores. You can go for any other corruptions. Amulets are pretty cheap, but the additional cores, well, there was 7 of them on the market, 2 for the 120 divines and above, yeah. And after that, there was 5 players who were offline. I bought my one. I sniped it from the guy who logged in for 30 divines. If more people play around it, it's gonna be more expensive. Next, we have Circle of Nostalgia with the +1 power charge. The damage mod on the bottom is also nice. If you don't have it, you can say fuck it, I don't need it, and just go for the 80% chance or maybe 90. If you use Kalandra, you're gonna get 9 power charges. I'm using the original scene, so you know, but you can mirror it with the Kalandra. And the second mod, there is nothing super important. Maybe you can take the reservation efficiency or chaos resistance while affected. It doesn't matter. We have 60 chaos resistance from ascendancy. This ring plus the original scene, or if I mirror it, plus golem. Even without the golem, we are chaos cap, so chaos resistance is no problem. And also boots have the up to 25. Speaking of boots, cannot be afflicted by corrupted blood, cannot be inflicted to you. Really nice. And we need the frenzy charges one if you are using the Olesa. If you are not, you can go either for power or frenzy charge one. I grab one with the +1 endurance charge. You can go for the corruption with the regenerated life per second while moving. To be honest, corruption is not important at all, so you know you can just grab uncorrupted or corrupted without any mods. It's gonna be fine. Speaking of belt, you have some options. First is the Olesa. It's like 45% more damage with poison if you have affliction charges. And in my setup, this is my setup that I am running with. I just, for purpose of the like explanation of the build and so on, change it a little bit. So we have the despair on hit on gloves, and we have a little bit like more damage with the Olesa. Without it, it's fine, but maybe not on the tier 17 and a half, tier 16 and a half. So the thing is that the spare on hit is affecting only the poison damage part, because the Faura is not having the spare activated when you know when we are degenerating people. And by the way, our the Faura is for the entire fucking screen, so you know, and just for you know, so same with the curses on Blasphemy and the Plague Barrier and Withering Step. The AoE is also pretty big. It's like 6 meter radius or 5. The Faura is 6. You can go for 7.5. I did it in the pub. By the way, I have entire pub with the all of the nodes and like 4 different trees depending on your stage, or like you know, maybe you wanna level. Leveling gonna be there soon. Also, I didn't put anything because I believe there is like few other meaningful ways to like you know level up character. For example, hollow palm technique. So you know. Anyway, gloves. You just need curse on hit, any curse on hit, to be honest. The spare is nice for me. If you don't want to run defensive curses, which I am doing, I have temporal chains and enfeeble, you can run the spare in the staff or in your aura setup in general. And what I mean is you can put any curse on hit, but not punishment. So because I am playing with the original scene, chaos resistance of enemies are 0, so I don't need the spare. That's why I was using those gloves with the temporal chains on hit. So I can, in theory, say sayonara to the temporal chains, put the punishment here, yeah, and after that I change the gloves for that one, but I'm also good. So actually I was less, like, you know, having less damage because of that. It doesn't matter too much. So yeah, that should be my setup. And because of the corruptions that I have on these gloves, like you can use any gloves, as I said, yeah, they can be rare, maybe some other uniques, maybe Aleopathy if you wanna like have another single target damage, so you have Blight, but it's gonna be just 1 million damage, so it's like, and you need to stand still. I have Withering Step here, so if you even get the gloves with +1, you are not reaching any thresholds with the +2 gem levels. 21 level on the Withering Step is enough to have the amount of the Withering debuffs already. If you wanna get another threshold for AoE, which is like almost nothing, you need to grab Maestry for the +1 to Chaos Gems. With the +5 gloves and 21 and Maestry, you're gonna be on the cap. But as I said, it's just radius, whatever. But I am freak about the AoE, so, you know. Plague Bearer, it's like, you know, single target damage option, or if you automate it, it's also gonna boost your like clear speed, because, you know, you're gonna have another ring around you that deals chaos damage, and you constantly are on the top of the, like, you know, the charges for it. So it's like on, off every like half second. So, you know, or 1 second, I don't remember which, like, what is the cooldown? Yeah, half second. So half second with it, half second without. So yeah, it's gonna boost your damage if you're gonna go for the tier like 17 maps with Delhi. It's gonna help, but yeah. You can automate it. I don't like just for the single target purpose. So I don't need to, like, you know, stand, put the breaches and so on. It's gonna be fine. Another one thing is the enchants. You replace it with the, or maybe AoE. There is increased area of effect here. You can replace it with the automation, as I said. Okay. In the boots, I got Herald of Agony, which is like activating the ring mod, and also it grants me 20% chance to poison. I don't care about the minion. Portal, so it is Val Breach. The only way to get it is go for the Uber Breaches, I believe, or maybe normal Breaches, or use the stack of cards that are dropping like from Stacked Decks or somewhere that grants the Val Breach gem. Before there was a way to obtain it by corrupting them in the map that has a breach. Currently it's not possible, they remove it, which is not nice, because quality on it matters. It grants cast speed, and we are so fucking slow by casting it. It's like 1.6 seconds of cast time, so maybe you wanna, like, you know, link it with the faster casting. Maybe you wanna do that. I'm socket starving, so I am not doing it. Next we have Flame Dash, just regular Flame Dash, and Vitality. Vitality level 1 in current setup, if I use the items that I have in my stash, because Kulemak gonna have +3, so my Enlighten gonna be higher level, I can use the higher level Vitality. It is not like this regenerate doesn't matter, but it's minor upgrade, so whatever. Automation here with the summon Chaos Golem, which is like manually summoned. So as you can see, I can summon it one manually. On really hard map, you're gonna die a lot. So it's like, you know, you don't wanna rely on him in terms of Chaos resistance. So let's say this ring gives me like a lot, yeah. And let's say I'm gonna take the summon Chaos Golem. I'm still Chaos res cap almost. So just so you know. If you like mirror the another Circle of Nostalgia, you are still Chaos cap, but it grants Chaos damage over time multiplier. And with the buff effect, I corrupted my one on the bricket. You get a little bit more, so it's nice. You can disable it in the PoE if you don't want to include the golem, so whatever. Life tap, and this is important. Life tap in the Molten Shell or maybe Flame Dash needs to be on the like lowest level, so you activate it often. So here I need to spend 44 life, and my normal Molten Shell cost me 54, so I am under. It's good, yeah. Every cast gonna grants me life tap, and we are using life tap also in the chest for 2 reasons. First, boost of the damage if you have the life tap active, and second thing is life tap support. And before it was also with the Arcane Surge, but it's not anymore, I believe. This enables the Aura having the duration tax, so duration supports can also affect the Aura. And currently I have wrong support probably because I am using Arrogance. Meanwhile, the less duration gives a little bit more damage, as far as I know, so maybe I'm wrong. You can check in the PoE. Efficacy, Void Manipulation, Swift Affliction, Increased Area of Effect. If you want to have more damage, go instead of the Increased Area of Effect for the Concentrated Effect. And you can have basically Chaos RF at that point, and it's not for the full screen. I like full screen because minions don't see me, I kill them, is good. You don't need links in this chest, by the way. It's like build it in ability, so corruption for extra reduced damage from critical strikes, also nice. You can go for the increased damage one, it's up to you. Kulemak, mods on the Kulemak. So when you are using the Olesa, you need some way to gain frenzy charges. You can get it from few sources. I have it from the Blood Rage. Blood Rage is giving me extra degen, so it's actually like a little bit hurting me. You could see me on the map like degening a lot. Explo mod, important. Chaos damage, important. If you are going for the +3, just ditch out the chaos damage, as in scenario in this stuff. And on the bottom, on that stuff, I have chaos.multi and increased damage per power charge. Those are best in slot mods, yeah. The perfect stuff would have, instead of +3, the chaos damage mod. This is the most damaging stuff ever. But yeah, I have one that. I prefer to use that one without the Olesa and using the Headhunter, because when you have Ralakesh, you need frenzy charges generation only if you're using that belt. If I'm using that one or Mage Blood, I don't need the generation of frenzy charges. I have constantly maximum, so just so you know. So I'm gonna leave it like that. So what else? That's all of the items, I believe. What we have here is Enlighten level 4, Punishment, Enfeeble, Purity of Elements, and Malevolence. With the Malevolence, you can swap it for the Determination on, or any aura you like, yeah, maybe Haste, and you can get Malevolence from your merc. Currently, my merc has some bullshit, probably Wrath and Envy. Actually, Envy is something, I don't know. It grants flat damage, so for explosions, flat damage doesn't matter too much, yeah. But she has also the Spire, the regular one, so yeah. You can use that one, you can use the guy who is melee, who gonna gives you 45, maybe the guy with the 200 weapon, yeah, it's up to you. Flasks, just movement speed. Avoid stun is really important. You can take Pantheon for it. I'm using the one for many people around me. And I'm using also Soul of Aberath for the Burning Grounds, because we are unaffected by Shocked Ground or Chinlet Ground. We are immune to ailments because of that. There are other ways to get avoidance of ailments. For example, if you are using rare boots, you can find the mods on them in the suffixes from the essence or in the implicit from the Ether or Exarch. And also you can go for the lab jewels. I believe they are called... I forgot the name. I always do that. So if you have lab jewels, they grants you stat per jewel that you have. You can stack up to 3 of them, and there is a 12% avoid elemental ailments on them. So you can, with the one lab jewel and like perfect implicit in the boots and perfect bottom mod, you have 102%. So you have a little bit room to do it, but fuck it. My build is full unique. Don't care about it. Whatever. Yeah. So I believe, Forbidden Taste. You can enchant this flask because it's not life flask, so it's gonna be pop on every time you get savage hit, which is really good. And especially in the combination with the Progenesis, which I'm gonna buy at some point, and Mage Blood, it's gonna be like fucking awesome. Because of me using that flask and the Progenesis, I wanna have only 3 flask Mage Blood, which is gonna be cheaper. Also something that is good in my build. What else? I believe that's it. You need 1 extra curse on the amulet, just if you are using 2 blasphemy curses and another curse on hit. If you are using the spare as an aura and another as an aura, the curse on hit doesn't matter, because like you have maximum number of the like curses different than you have, like you cannot apply 3 of them, but enemy that is not affected by your auras, those need to have the curses just for the purpose of exploding after they die. Yeah, so anyway, you're gonna see some corpses on the ground, even with the 100% chance for explode. Even like if you have above, I have above, and I can still see them. So it's not perfect. I believe it's not adaptive. It's like at some stage it's multiplicative. So for the ascendancy, we go for the power charges, forbidden power, area of effect plus 1 power charge and damage per power charge. The gain power charge after spending mana is not. I don't rely on it. Here we have minus chaos rest, whatever for me because of the original scene, but for you it's gonna be something. And reduced life regeneration rate, good when you're fighting with the Maven, catching people think, she's like also souls, like, it's good. Then chaos resist, more chaos damage. Witcher is like refreshed and you have extra stacks over time. And hindered enemies gonna deal less damage. Next, Profane Bloom, Explo. But this source of explo requires enemy to be cursed. That's why you need curse on hit from at some point. And yeah, speaking of the ascendancy, I'm gonna go to the clusters because there is a vast power which grants you the same thing if you stack 2 of them as the ascendancy, but up to maximum of 50% with 8 power charges, which is my current breakpoint. You have 48%, so you are close to the cap. With one more exceeding, you just get 2% AoE. It's something, but the ascendancy doesn't have cap, so more power charges is better. I believe you can get up to 10 power charges if you anoint that shit, and you get one more ring, which you mirror. So by the way, those rings cost about 10 divines, and maybe like 20 with right mode. Meanwhile, if you want to have rare ring with the power charge, it's gonna cost you like 180 div. So yeah, at some point you can replace it, but I don't want to invest so much in this build. So what else is there? The second mod, it's Towering Treat for AoE and life. You can go for the Assert Dominance. It is 25% AoE if you killed 5 people recently. So I have the version of the build that utilize those only, like mega AoE build. There is also a version of the build that gives you like maximum damage and HP. So you have the options, and the third one is budget, and fourth one is my one. So the jewels here, reservation, efficiency, and life, basically, and some resistances. I'm using it with the current setup. If I don't use that setup and I don't use Olesa, I have different pair, but whatever. Eldritch Battery, AoE. If you wanna use the caster mastery for opening chest, you can use the Unearth with the like faster casting, and you can open chest on those maps with the new strategy or for the abysses. AoE for aura skills, it boosts the aura. +1 curse, hinder. So hinder is activating the large cluster, which is like Touch of Cruelty. It's the biggest damage increase. 30% are not so much less damage, but here I have the unspeakable gifts with ascendancy, and Kulemak mod is over 100, so I have 40 here, 2 times 10 here, and for ascendancy I have 100% 10, and as I said, they are not adding up, they are probably multiplicative. I'm gonna see like 3% of corpses left on the ground, or maybe 5. So it is something, maybe not, it's like overkill. Okay, I tattoo here the tattoo for the HP. I'm using 2 of those. Unfortunately, you cannot anoint the other place with the anymore those things, so that sucks. But yeah, you cannot get it from the anointment. What else? Here we have I'm using the solution for the Blue Dream, the solution for my power charges generation. Here in this node you have 5% to get Gaineton heal, and you can tattoo the int nodes for the lightning resistance, so you can have like that amount is probably overkill. Maybe 2 of those was enough, but it's nice to cap resistance with those, so why not? All rest of them, rest of intelligence, gonna be reduced damage from critical selections, and I'm gonna present you some other solutions for that. Or any others, chaos damage. Chaos damage costs 1C. Those for the crit reductions, they are expensive. So if you wanna avoid doing this, you can change maestry here for the reduced damage from critical selections. So with the corrupted chest, which is like almost nothing, you can buy it for 1 divine. So it doesn't need to be 6 socket. You have tainted currency, you can do it by yourself. After that, tainted chromatic is cheap as fuck. So just grab any. And maybe you wanna go for double corruption. I at some point probably gonna buy, maybe today, but I didn't check it. So you can go for the crit reduction here. And crit reduction is pretty important. You don't need 100% chance, but if you want to get a little bit at least, you can grab 3 points here for the maestry for 20%, or 5 points here for maestry for 30 here and 20 here. So it's like optional. Yeah, you have options. All right, what else? Yeah, power charge, this cluster, same shit here. We have the Megalomaniacs. I'm gonna cover them lastly because every single node of them, it's like you can find those things somewhere else. So I'm gonna skip it. One singular tattoo for movement speed, it's nice. And after that, what we have? Runes craft for the reservation efficiency. That one is mandatory. In PoB, I have placed the increased maximum life if you have no life mod on chest. The aura have life mod, so it doesn't affect the PoB, and you have actually spent the point already. And I put in the config 15% extra, so just in case you are thinking that I'm not doing it right. Yeah, it's everything covered there. So, all right. So I was tripping that I am not recording the entire screen. I make that video 2 times already, and you know, Anointment here, Beacon of Hope. You have extra AoE for Devoura. If you feel like this guy is trolling, yes, I am trolling. You can go for the. Here is the nice thing. I need to show in the pub later, but there is a thing that grants you Wither debuff is removed if it is 20% or less. So you're gonna refresh the Withering step much often. This is first option. Second option, just power charge. Third option, if you don't have frenzy charge generation, you can annoy this. It's good. Same with the Discipline of the Forbidden, but this is a little bit wasteful because you can grab it for 4 points. And with the Maestry, you can get 3% per charge. So that's how much charges we have. 8, in your case scenario probably 9, plus 9, that is 18, plus 5, that is 23, times 3. Yeah, this is a lot of increase, so, you know, but the points on the way are wasteful. It's critical strike chance and mana regeneration, so, you know, up to you. I was using it for a while, then I realized, hey, wait a second, we have this duel, so, you know. Okay, and lastly, we have this sheet. So, we are using Elegant Kubris with the Supreme Ostentation. I'm gonna take it out, and as you can see, we are struggling with the attributes, so this is a really nice solution. Especially Death Aura requires you to have Death's Oath requires 180 strength. This is most important, like, you know, things, so it's fucking annoying to not having this shit. And yeah, so that's the thing. What else we have? So why this? Because they are notables, and we are grabbing them via the Impossible Escape. You have 2 options. One, this one. I bought it for 7 divines. Sometimes they are cheaper, sometimes more expensive, depending on the meta. Currently they are 4 divines, I believe. That one, in other way, with the Iron Will, I believe, it is much cheaper, just because it has 1 less passive. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here, I believe. Or maybe not. No, that is not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That one is outside. And meanwhile, here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1 more. So, and that is on the way, so you don't care about it. Because of that, like, if you check the nodes, I have the best combination. So it's 4 damaging nodes, damage per power or frenzy charges here, and 1 for the aura effect here. Yeah, so I have the most damaging one. If you have problem with the frenzy or endurance charge generation, you can find the enduring compulsion thing on those jewels, or frenzy charge on hit, which you are hitting with the explosions. So you can generate the charges that way, but it's gonna cut your damage a lot because there is no combination on either of those jewels. Yeah, that's gonna have like 2 of the damage notables and 1 of those. You can get 2 of the like both charges generation and 1 notable for the damage, and maybe something extra on top of that. I didn't check every single jewel, but if you know how to do it in the PoB, I just say it's possible to get something better here, or maybe a little bit worse. I bought my one for 10 divines, I believe. Okay, maybe 7. I believe I covered everything from the tree. Yeah, so that will be it. And my next upgrade gonna be Mage Blood and Progenesis. After that, I don't invest anymore in this build. Maybe I'm gonna grab better Kulemak. Maybe I'm gonna grab better synthesizer drink here. Or maybe if I'm crazy, I'm gonna go for not synthesized, not unique synthesized drink, you know. So yeah, that's it. All right, let's go to the pub. They're gonna show you. Of course, I need to open it. I'm gonna show you the pub and options that you have. So, you know. So this is my current build, my current character. You can choose between the max AoE, life and damage focus, or the budget option. Leveling is not yet done, so, you know, because league starting with this build is awkward as fuck, and you need friends in the game to carry you. Especially on solo self-found, you need to play with something else. I was playing on the small private league with 10 people, and I managed to do the build in the previous league, but I didn't know about the helmet and the route with the, you know, with the thing, and you can't find that jewel in the solo self-found, so you're probably gonna go for the Xibaqua one, which is also an option. My notes are prepared. Like, this is pretty extensive source of information. You can find a lot of things if you struggle with some generation of charges. Maybe you have a little bit different items, you have less budget or anything. You have every single thing on this one list. Like, you don't need to scroll. It's like actually you need, which is fucking annoying. Why? All right, whatever. So let's talk about the configuration, because we have all of those things, but enemy skill certainly is red because I'm not utilizing the jewels that gonna scale with the 5 people recently AoE. So, you know, it's because of that. I slapped the Runegraft Life Mastery, and in the tree I put 1 point that is useless for that reason. And I place it here. Wither stack, it gonna depends what how much quality you have on your wittering step. I am using the amount that I have plus 1 because how do you call it? Because my ascendancy gives me 1 and every second. So you can put more if you are like using the killing the boss or something. It's up to you. Enemy is poisoned and on low life just for the curses, and poison, we are applying poison, but the config doesn't see, like, you know, we don't have source of poison, but whatever, we are poisoning with the AoE explosions. Yeah, I put the guardian pinacle boss here. That gonna depends what content you are doing. You can put more chaos resistance here to check how much, like, you know, I put even increased map effect mod here. It doesn't change anything. I have original sin that makes enemy chaos resistance in radius of 6 0. If you don't have original sin, it's just flex load. You can like just slap the spare, and probably they're gonna be even negative. So, you know, it's up to you. And souls here, state inflicting. Yeah, so pub config is good. The only thing that is like a little bit speculative, and that's the word, is the enemy corpse life, because you can see in my current setup I have 14 million. This DPS doesn't mean anything, because how do we calculate the damage? You go to the on-kill monster explosions and you put number that you believe you overlapping explosions on the enemy. So for example, on that juicy map that I ran, I have a lot of overlaps. So most of the people were like dot cap, yeah? But, you know, most of the enemies have dot cap on themselves. But if you are, let's say, fighting a boss in singular arena, and he has, let's say, no ads, and you just use the Val Bridge and you roll poorly, like 2 white minions standing next to him, you have almost no damage. You can just use the calculation for damage per 1 explosions, and you can see it's 3 million still, so it's something. Plus your Death Aura, which is like, you know, where it is. Death Aura, where you are. Here, including the fuel DPS, so you have like 80k, and on top of that you can place the one more thing. You need to add it manually because you cannot put it in the pub. The plug weber, so it's another million on top of that. Yeah, so you can think you have 4 million DPS even if you don't have any explosions, like 1 explosion at most, and that's it. The ring that creates minions around with the penance mark, that doesn't work. The radius is like they are above 3 meters from the enemy, and it's like variable, and they have like only 20k HP. So it's like, you know, if you wanna check, I can show you how much, because you spawn only 1 per second with that ring, yeah? And if you go to the configuration, you need slap 20k. This is your damage with poison, so it's like almost Death Aura damage. It's like not needed. This ring is like shit. You can use it if you wanna, but I don't believe in it, yeah? So why I put 100k? Because if you ask ChatGPT or manually check the PoE DB wiki and you look on the monsters at area level 83, white monsters gonna have on average from like 20k to like sometimes 60k HP. On average is 35, yeah, maybe 40. Blue monsters gonna have like about 100k or maybe more, and like up to 250, I believe. And rares usually gonna have from 300k to about even 750. So, you know, the more density is there, the more rare monsters, the more beyond the legiums, shrines, evolving shrines, I don't know, legions, expeditions, the more density is there, the more damage you have, the easiest is the clear. You just need to pop that one singular fucking monsters. And that's why we are playing so fucking big AoE scaling, just for the purpose of explosions having like overlaps. And speaking of which, so I'm gonna put like, you know, count of 5, because I feel like this is realistic damage for the single target, not the auras. This is 1, and on kill monster explosions I put 5. This is my config, what I feel like I should put. Yes, I can put 10 and I'm gonna have almost dot cap. You know, 30k. So, but alright. Let's go to the fucking thing. Calcs. So this is my current range of my Death Aura. It's almost entire fucking screen, yeah? But if you put the fucking on kill monster explosions, you're gonna see it's 3.4. It's like RF for some people. Like I found a guy who came to my hideout and we talk in Polish language. I'm from Poland, by the way, about his game, and I said I wanna compare it to just a regular version of RF, yeah. And I said, hey, you have 21 RF, 20 quality, just take it out from the chest and like read how much radius it have, yeah. He said 2.6. We have bigger than the regular RF. It's like, you know, those overlaps are existing. There's like a lot of them, you know. So that's why I feel the damage cap, dot cap on the maps is like easy to achieve. Just for the bosses is like problematic, as I say. Okay, but what about other things? Let's say for the plug webber, yeah. Plug webber have 6 medi radius, pretty big. In the game, the AoE seems to be a little bit smaller because of the visual effect of it, but yeah, that's true. It's big like that. If we go for the withering step, that was withering step. Plug webber is smaller. Yeah, so that's somehow like that. Okay, what else we have here? Curses, yeah, because we are running curses on Blasphemy. So this is my punishment, which is low level, but let's go for the enfeeble. It was bigger level, yeah. Level doesn't matter. So right now it's like that. If you go for the AoE setup tree, yeah, it's gonna be bigger than your fucking screen. So, you know, it's like maybe you are playing on the panoramic thing. So, you know. Okay, what else we have here? Items, yeah, OLSA or Headhunter, you have everything here. You can choose whatever you like. I have included some other items that I have, or like, you know, there are gonna be a lot of items. You just click sort or maybe delete in use. I don't recommend because some things are used on other iteration of the build or something. And from the skills, I explain everything in the game. So you have supports for the aura, you have courses with the blasphemy auras, molten shell with the life top on low level for the activation, and like, you know, it can be even level 1, it doesn't matter at all. Just big level in the fucking the Faura support, yeah. Herald, Breach, Dash, Vitality, whatever, low level Vitality is enough. This is debuff step up. You can put instead of Enchance or Awakened AoE just the fucking automation. Here is the just reminder that you need the thing. Courses for testing. If you wanna test anything, you can just enable one course and see the difference. Yeah, maybe you put blasphemy here. Yeah, so blasphemy plus that. How much mana I need? I don't know why it's not working. Maybe because I'm running it. Let's go for the despair. I don't know why it's not working. Whatever. Alternative setups for gloves. So this is if you wanna play AG. And I think about slapping one, because if you put animated guardian with guardian blessing, mid shield, and some aura, you can have another aura on top of existing ones. So I can put my own determination, and because you have animated guardian, he can wear the Kingsmaker for 10 fortification stacks. So this is also 10% damage reduction. What you need to do is give him the Grukul Spirit and the 3 rare items for gloves, boots, and helmet with the increased life regeneration rate and some resistance on top of that. And he's gonna have like 50k HP. Grukul gives him like 10% regen, and you're gonna give him like more. Animated Guardian is not dying anymore on the maps because like if he dies, you save the items, so it's pretty like easy stuff. I believe that one is better than the Dark Marionettes that you can play also with the Guardian Blessing with the Ray Spectre, because we don't scale the Ray Spectre games. You're gonna have only 2. We don't invest into that, so it's gonna be like Death Aura is here, probably should be here. So this is just for the full DPS checkbox. Temporal Chains from gloves also, and Blood Rage from weapon. Alright, self-explanatory. What else we have here? The trees. So this is my current tree. Let's look on the max AoE tree. This is a tree that focus on the AoE. Of course, some things like mana reservation efficiency or something gonna be missing, yeah. So you need to manually check why or something, yeah. But the damage is still there, yeah, for the poison at least, yeah. And you know you have total like combined damage. But if you're gonna go to the calcs, you're gonna see this is our curva fucking blasphemy. It's outside of the screen. And if you go for the Death Aura, which is here, you have 7.3 radius. It's like almost touching the screen, you know? So it's like better. And for the on-kill explosions is 4.3 meters. Overlaps are like, you know, this is the normal RF of the guys in my maps. Where if I see any Roche Exels or something. Okay, what else? And the last tree, of course, this tree is lacking life. You have only 2.5k because you are focusing on the AoE. The clusters and everything is like that. I just slapped some weird prismatic jewels for the, you know, like generic stat. So you need to cap your resistance set and so on. So it's like up to you what you're gonna place there. Because of the reservation efficiency jewels, you need actually to use some. So Oblivion Star, for example, have one. So you slap that one by bad boy and another one here. It's like just life, resistance, and you know, and reservation efficiency. You place 2 of those, your resistance is even better. You can run some maps with curses or something. All right, that's it. Yeah, every single one of them gonna have this mastery for like increased maximum life, which is useless. You place runecraft on some mastery, so you know, just so you know. And last 3 gonna be life and damage focus. With these 3, I achieve a little bit less life, but the damage is like higher. Like it's like 50% more damage, just because we are going for damage here. You know, for here, here is where you can get recovery on kill. So you just slap here the mastery on chaos mastery, and that gonna give you like life recovery when you kill enemy. So this is also an option. You can slap also 2 points out here. And that goal's also gonna give you like recovery, so you don't need the cluster jewels that I have. And speaking of clusters, I'm gonna just go for my current pop, and in my current pop I'm using those. So modifying aspect, it's a reservation efficiency thing, so you probably wanna that. Of course, those are megalomaniacs, you never find the same things, yeah, so you know you need to choose some things. So I would say modifying aspect is pretty important. This is the only one that you can use if you are using malevolence. Other auras don't have, like, you know, the purity of elements don't have it, and so on. The Recepathy, I don't need that shit, as I said, in the scenario where you have true hexproof enemies, it doesn't matter at all. And in, say, normal hexproof enemies, you know, there is hexproof and curse immune. Hexproof, he has still curse on himself. There is a padlock on top of him, yeah, like code lock, and you know that means he's cursed, but the curse is not working. So you can still 100% explode them, even if they are immune to curses and they don't have those padlocks. You have still Kulemak with 40% chance to explode. The only mod that's gonna rip you in the scenario of expedition is the chaos immune, yeah. So overall damage is chaos. 8% max life, it's good one. It's the one of the biggest ones, and 10% regenerate every 4 seconds, 2.5% regen on average is good. And during composure, this is my way to endurance charges. It's probably the best one. You can use enduring cry. You can have mercs that gonna do it. You can find it on the mods on the as I said, on the timeless jewel, but not recommending it. And you can also do other things, like for example, get raring with the mod if you don't have Kalandra, you know, to gain it on kill. It's many options there. I just mentioned that on mercs, if you put the replicas ambush charge or the gloves that have conduit, they are not considered as your party members, so you cannot share the charges with them. It is impossible. So, you know, and my last merc was so dumb, he was using the enduring strike. He has 5 endurance charges and he never spent them. Like, he have the vigilant strike that should grant me level like 45 non-stop, and he didn't do it. So maybe he was too low level and he never hit. So, you know, Brush with Death, this is my way to gain life on kill. It's really good. I have life on kill and I have life leech from the Watcher Eye mod, and speaking of which, I'm gonna go there soon. And Flow the Life, just increase the damage and 4% damage. Like, you can find a lot of good megalomaniacs for cheap for this build. So there are some good things. Remember, when you like slap megalomaniac, it needs to be better than the combined 2 nodes from the medium clusters, which you can put the AoE ones or the damage over time multi ones, yeah. And it needs to have also the mods that gonna compare in comparison with the, like, you know, regular jewel slots. So all of the 3 of them need to be good, yeah. That's the how the megalomaniac works. Also, you can grab Enduring Composure from the small cluster jewel at the end of the regular one and place 2 points there. It's like a little bit wasteful, but yeah, it's really important to get it. Okay, Watcher Eye, it has unaffected by bleeding. So if you have malevolence on your mech, yeah, sometimes you're gonna be bleeding, but it doesn't deal you damage. But when he get outside of his range, you get outside of his range of the aura, you gotta regen for like split of a second, and you're gonna feel it. Actually, I feel it when I was not having this shit, and she have the malevolence. So, you know, I don't like the bitch that have it. And 1.1 damage leeched as life while affected by vitality. This is my way of leeching. You can just slap the Atiri Promise Flask, And if you do use Glorious Vanity, there is one notable that grants it, so it's up to you. You can use Xibaqua or the Doriani ones for dual leech. Just remember to turn off the Eldritch Battery and leave some mana for your skills, or put them on the life tap if you are using the Doriani one. So you have both Energy Shield and life, and that's probably the tankiest setup. Xibaqua gives you shift from the elemental damage to the chaos, so you wanna stack chaos resistance, you need 3 Born of Chaos notables with it, but the degen from the Death Aura and the Flask is not there, so of course you can go for the damage over time multiplier. The ailments deal damage faster, it is not damage increase, because it's gonna just make the damage to be dealt faster. The duration for the poisons is there, because you can have infinite amount of the poison on the enemy. The duration of the poison would be increased damage, where you can find it on the, for example, on Mastery on those. So, it's up to you. You can grab this wheel and put the Mastery for increased duration of the ailments. So that's gonna be damage increase. But of course, that's all in the PoB. In the real life, when you go to the game and you play it, dealing damage faster is pretty nice. Some people even scale it to the to the Oblivion and use the ring from the haste for ignite, and they are feeling good. So anyway, I believe that's it. I'm gonna show you also the budget section. So here is the budget section, just level 90. And this is scenario where you can put the clusters, but maybe you don't have eventually them. So the DPS from the explosion is gonna be nice, but what we are using is Olesa with some rare boots. This I need to put the budget here. So this is over 9 million DPS, so it's half of the damage for the poison. We're still using Olesa, maybe not corrupted, but yeah, I place corrupted one because I don't want to craft. I just crafted the ring that have maximum life and chaos resistance instead of the other ones. The other diming, so you have additional course, you can place anything else here. Maybe you want to use the boots for +1 course and another good ring. It's up to you. Maybe you want to have a course on hit ring with the Hunter influence. Batch of Brotherhood, I don't care about the corruption right now, so it's just normal Batch of Brotherhood, I didn't change it. Those boots are from some Uber boss, I believe from Ether, and I slapped them because you never get critical strike when you are poison enemies deals you 50% reduced extra damage from critical strike chance with the mod on the chest on the tree or on the tree. You never receive critical strikes, so you never get extra. Maybe you actually getting the vines. Whatever, slap any boots that you like. This is 90 life and 30 movement speed, easy and crit reduction. Why not? Aleopathy. So maybe the ones with the despair on hit won't be available, but any course on hit gonna be nice. And yeah, this is Blight just for extra supplemental damage. I place some supports there, whatever. It's I don't believe it's good, but some people gonna use it. This Blight is almost not dealing any damage. It's 1 million. It should be somewhere in the in the skills here. Yeah, this is our true damage. And Blight is included in full DPS. If we go for this here, I believe that's it. You can see 1 million damage with maximum sustainable stack. Yeah, manual stacks. Yeah, it's 50k damage only per one stack. So you need to channel a lot to get that shit. Yeah. The ring is small for the explosion, but you're using 2 obliteration wands. This is your death aura. It's pretty big, so 6 meters, maybe bigger than my one. I don't know. You can still tattoo. I put on the budget version. I put tattoos that are not expensive. Yeah, so maybe there gonna be no tattoos next league, or maybe they gonna change them again. So you never know. Anointment is still here. You can change it for the power charge if you want more power on the budget. What we have in the items: 2 obliteration, 1 with corruption. It's gonna be pretty cheap, 20c. People don't use it often. Venomous toxins, power charge is here. I didn't replace it, so maybe you don't have power charge there. Aleopathy, the weird boots, Badge of Brotherhood, the other damning ones, Olesa the light, and you can slap the forbidden taste, but it's gonna damage you. You can place the flask. I forgot to do it. How do you call it? Atsiri promise. That shit, just Anne. You don't care about the stats. You're gonna be 1C, and you put it instead of what? Bastard flask, let's say. Bastard is shit. Yeah, you put that shit, you are Gucci. Extra chaos resistance if you get cursed, I don't know. maybe the players cannot be cursed by despair unless monster cast it. So yeah, I believe that's it. Everything gonna be under the video. Yeah. So yeah, I hope if you play the build, you're gonna be fine. And see you next time. Bye.